Hello everyone, this is Dr. Firefang. I want to play some Kerbal Space Program. Now, I posed some questions to Reddit. Yes, I actually decided to get on Reddit. And they helped me figure out some better ways to do rocket design. Things that they kind of made sense, but at the same time I hadn't really thought about it before. Also, they, got some, I linked them to a playlist, so I got some views that way. But more importantly, I got some really helpful comments on how to build rockets and just some ideas. In fact, I even took their advice and I downloaded a mod. Now this mod helps with designing rockets and just really helps in that respect. Actually, I don't think the last mission I took, that mountain one, I don't think it ended up saving, which kind of stinks. But I think I'll live. But yeah, let's go ahead and try to make a spaceship. I want to make one that'll orbit because I do believe, actually I might not have. I do have a science data from Space Run Kerbal. I just want to design a completely new ship to show you Kerbal Engineer. Now this is a pretty cool mod. It shows you a lot of different ways of just really, what's the word? Shows you a bunch of different ways of just allowing. It helps you basically get where you need to go. It calculates all your delta V, which is change in velocity that you need to get in order to get into different orbits. And in order to get into different orbits, you need to get a delta V map, which I'm going to go ahead and Google right now. Kerbal Space Program delta V map. So you need a good Kerbal Space, you need a good delta V map in order to figure out how high you need to get in order to get to certain areas. Like, for instance, you need to get, let me pull up this one. You need to get about 4,550 delta V in order to get in orbit, or at least to escape. Yeah. In order to get into a low orbit. I don't know what the Kerbal escape velocity is, but if we try to get to the moon, we need 4,550 delta V, coupled with 860 delta V, and then 210 delta V, and then another 640 delta V to actually get onto the moon. And we need to get back as well, which will take another, I need a lot of, not fuel, but I need a lot of delta V, which I'll show you what I'm talking about. Honestly, I knew what delta V was, but it still kind of astounds me all the different ways that you can, it gets calculated and that. So let's go ahead and, what is that? Now let's go ahead and send up a comms. Let's get that out. And I can just send a space report to get some, what's that? Engineering, this unit has been given at least time. What does it do? I do not know what these two things do. It might be a new update. It might be part of Kerbal Engineer, but I didn't think Kerbal Engineer came with any extra parts. Basic jet engine. Cool. Okay, let me see. What do I need to do? Let's go ahead and stick a decoupler on it. And then we will stick some fuel tanks on it. And then we'll stick an engine on it. And we can see some early delta V. Now this gives us 3,000 delta V, which I believe is more than sufficient for getting into, not getting into orbit, but once I start adding some extra fuel tanks and stuff, I'll be able to easily get into orbit that way. Let's go ahead and try Symmetry Mode 3. And let's use some solid fuel boosters. So that gives me a delta V of 200. That's more than enough to get into orbit, which seems silly to me because I've been of the firm mind that you need a lot. I need to get a lot of stuff into orbit, but I think that'll be enough. Maybe I should have grabbed some goo, but yeah. This is a basic flight, something I feel like I've done before. I think I've gotten in orbit with this on Kerbal Space Program on this playthrough. It'd be kind of silly if I haven't. Okay. go. Accelerating quite a bit. Maybe I should have lowered the throttle because there are some weird... Probably should have checked some stuff first before I did anything, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll go ahead and check the vessel. This shows me how much delta V I guess I have left in this stage. So I've got about 1,300. That's quite a bit of delta V. I don't know if I'll be able to use all of it though, because of all the atmosphere working against me. But yeah. Once we get to about 10,000, I can start hitting that tapering point. I think I really need to read up on this, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go to about 45 degrees. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that was not good. That was not good at all. Let's go ahead and go a little bit faster because I need to start getting some speed up. Yeah, pretty sweet. Go ahead and go even faster. Like I said, need to get that speed up. Don't want to go too fast. Don't want to go too far because I still want to be able to clear that atmosphere, which I'll go ahead and angle myself up a little bit. Let me go ahead and rotate around. It'll make positioning easier for me. And let me see. I honestly do not know what all this is about. I think my thrust weight ratio is not as high as it. I honestly don't know what a thrust weight ratio is. That should be high enough to get into orbit. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it has a slight degrade, but once I clear the atmosphere, it shouldn't go down much further. Let's go ahead and look at my staging. Okay, looks like we can fast forward to the apoapsis, which I'm going to wait till I have about, there we go, let's add a maneuver to orbit the planet. Pretty sweet, huh? Hopefully I'll be able to burn it though. It's very possible that I didn't burn in time. I don't know. Go ahead and start burning. Looks like it's not that long of a burn. I may or may not have the fuel for it. It looks like I have enough fuel. Okay, now I want to be able to see what's my paraps at. Let's go ahead and burn a little bit more. Let's get a paraps of 50. I may or may not have enough liquid fuel to take me, but who knows. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a crew report. I'm just going to go ahead and transmit the data. And we got the contract done. So that's mainly what I was up here for. Also to kind of show you Kerbal Space Program Flight Engineer. So I'm going to go ahead and land this. You know the drill. I'm not going to bore you with it, so I'm going to stop recording for now, and I'll see you when I come. Okay, I thought I'd come back just to show you guys I have some good news. You know that last mission that I thought was an utter failure, and I thought it was just because everything lagged out? Turns out it landed and everything's fine. So I'm going to go check up on that as soon as this one's done. Go ahead and what happens if I turn off the SAS? It'll just reorient itself based on gravity. Don't want it to waste battery fuel unnecessarily. So, one of the coolest things, not coolest, but a very cool thing that I've seen is the train thing where it shows you, the vertical speed and the horizontal speed. because in physics class that I've been taking, we learn about how you do projectile motion, and it's so weird because the horizontal speed like never changes in the problems we do, but we do not account for air resistance in our problems. So there's a very good chance that we're missing a very big portion of that equation. But see, now we have absolutely no horizontal speed at all. It's just weird. It's just weird. We're going at a pretty slow vertical speed because, you know, this is pretty. This is countering gravity pretty well. Not perfectly, but it's still, you know, it works. Look at that beautiful sky. Fortunately, I don't see the moon. I'd like to see a lunar eclipse. I think they call it lunar eclipse, not a lunar eclipse, because games like this are just derpy. Okay. Now, as soon as we land, I'm going to go back home, and then we can take some. No, we don't want to take readings. We're going to go check on Jebediah Kerman, see how he's doing, see if he's all fine and dandy, and then we will leave. Make like a tree and leave. Put an egg in our shoe and beat it. Make like a banana and split. Those are all of my bad jokes for that situation. So, yep. Let's go ahead and recover vessel. Now what do I get? Probably nothing besides money and that one little quest that I did. Which, that's 87 science. So let's go ahead and go to this, which will allow me to go here. Kerbal biome. We'll go ahead and go into it. Now let me see. I don't think I ever did the AVA I wanted to. I'm going to do a quick save, F5, because I have a good feeling they're going to try to make me roll. And I don't want to roll. I want to take an EVA report, which I want to keep, and I want to take a surface sample, which I want to keep. I'm going to go ahead and go into here, F. I'm going to go here, observe materials bay. Keep data. Observe mystery goo. Keep data. Crew report. Cancel. Cool. And we are going to recover vessel. Sweet. That should be a bucket loads of science. I should probably be in the hundreds. At least. Hundreds? Oh yeah. A lot of science. Next. Next. Cool. And I didn't probably spend that much money on it even. Okay. What? A few days prior to another unattended ignition, one engineer visiting Kerbidine wondered if stupid Kerbals are more easily entertained than less stupid ones. As you can imagine, this is where you come in. Oh, he stuck around Kerbin. Turn home. So objectives. Turn home. So does it expires. It's duration for 5 years. I'm gonna go ahead and accept it. Okay. Let's go ahead and close. Now, let's see. Supersonic flight, who needs that? What I need is some advanced flight control. Ooh. There's some cool stuff in here. Let me see. There's some cool stuff there. I made something really cool with that. Let's see. Cool stuff there. some okay stuff there. I'm actually looking for just the wheels. Let's go ahead and close. Now, I'm going to try to make a space plane. I don't know how, and I don't think I'll be done within the episode time, but I might as well try. You know, did it ever hurt anyone to try? Propulsion. Do we have a fuselage for jet fuel? Very possible that there are some better structural, no? Aerodynamic components? So what is that? Here's no fuel, but it's fitted with a streamlined air intake. Nah. Not a winglet. Let's go with, do we just have a full wing? Let's do symmetry mode of DOS. This is probably not gonna work. Now, let's go ahead and just take a, let me see, do we have a basic jet engine? Let's go aerodynamics, Let's get a fuel intake. That looks clunky. But let's try it. How bad can it be? Pretty bad. And you know, just revert to previous flight. It's possible I might need to use some landing gears as well. Which, come to think of it, no, I don't have landing gear bays. Uh-oh. Hey, look! I was gonna say that he's fine. He's not fine. He's the opposite of fine. No, honestly, you can call me stupid, but what I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to make something that's interesting. And I'm trying to figure it out on my own. I've got that, and then I probably need to find some sort of control thing. Discovery of the third law of physics made it possible. Advanced inline stabilizer, place anywhere linear. What is... Okay, cool. Couldn't get it. My guess is that it does not want that. Aerodynamic. Look at how derpy that is. My guess is I'm going to need something better than just that. Because it's supposed to go backwards. Utilities, science, control. It's very possible I can't make a space plane. But that's not going to stop me from trying. That is the derpiest space plane ever. Let's go ahead and double symmetry mode. Okay. Let me see. Does he just not have a good lift rating? If I get a wing that has swept wings. Swept wings back here. And then some more swept wings back here. My guess is I'm making the same sort of mistake I'm making with the rockets. I really piled rockets down in the lower stages, which is not always a bad thing, but... And then I piled them up on the next couple stages, and then it was just a bad deal. So it was kind of a bad thing in the end. Maybe if I go fast enough, I'll actually lift. That would be kind of cool. Nope. Everything explodes. Revert to spaceplane hangar. Let me see. What else could I potentially do to help make this work? Is it something in aerodynamics that I need? Let's see. Because there's the radial air intake. Must have for air-breathing engines. This intake will pull... As long as there's any outside air to begin with, of course. Warranty does not cover engine flameouts or any objects inanimate otherwise sucked in by the intake. Great. Okay. So none of these seem to be what I'm really looking for. And I don't think I have the wheels to do this, which is a bit of a problem. You know, just a smidgen. But I'm going to try something else. I'm going to exit. I'm just going to try something. I tried this on my test world, but I had a bunch of different pieces besides just the one I'm going to try. And this is purely for fun. It's not something that's actually very viable. I don't even know if it's going to work right now, but who knows? Maybe it will. So I need one of these Probidyne cores. And then I need a fuel tank. Actually, that's RCS. That's monopropellant. And then I'm going to take a propulsion control. One of these, I guess. So let's go ahead and try a couple more of them. Try 4. Now, it's very possible this does nothing. It's also very possible that it just blows up right on the spot. Yeah, it's very possible I didn't do any checking beforehand. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to look up how to do space planes, and if that seems like a bust, the next episode I'll try something else. Okay, that is a bust. Close. I'll go ahead and revert flight to vehicle assembly because I still have an idea. It's not a great one, but I still have an idea. I'll take these off. I'll take this off. And I'll just make it a bit more chunkier with one of these fuel tanks installed instead. And 4 of these installed off to the side. As well, I'm going to go ahead and put some legs on it so that way I can hopefully land it a couple times, and we will start with them deployed. Let's go ahead and launch. My goal is to run into something. That is my goal. Just explosions, because explosions are a lot of fun when you don't know what you're doing in Kerbal Space Program. Okay, not exactly what I had in mind. Now what I'm trying to do is slow my descent. That was a mistake. Let's go ahead and revert flight to launch, because what I want to do is launch into one of my own things. That'd be wonderful. Okay, so let's lower the throttle a bit. Okay, I want to run into something over here. Maybe land on top of my thing. That'd be kind of cool. The only problem is there's not a whole lot of control. Let's go ahead and revert flight to vehicle assembly. I'm running out of time. I don't want this to be a 30-minute long episode of me just rambling on about very little. But I think if I go ahead and put in a small inline reaction wheel on, I guess it'd be on top, as well as, say, let's just say a battery pack. Just put it on there. Bob's your uncle, and we'll go ahead and launch this. And my goal is to hit it onto the building. I'm probably not going to do it because it'd be kind of silly if I could. Maybe it's non-collidable. I haven't really thought about that, but this is kind of a way to test that. Go and lower the throttle. Let's go that away. Okay, so I want to, let's go ahead and blast up this way. Let's just try to get back up so I can. Well, that's all the liquid fuel that I have. Let's just watch as it goes up and then down. Yep. These legs won't hold it. Revert to launch. I'll try one more launch, and then after that I gotta be done with the episode, honestly, because it's going on for far too long. Okay, let's go ahead and throttle it down a little bit. No, this away. Now let's go a little more that way. Let's go a little more that way. Let's go this way. Well, that's all my fuel. Okay, well, we'll get to see a nice aerial view of the Kerbal Space Program. It's looking really cool. I mean, I remember when I started that and that wasn't there. So, here's my Propedyne. Cool. So, hopefully next episode I can either look into making space planes, or I won't have enough stuff for space planes, in which case, I don't know what I'll do. But yeah, this has been Dr. Firefang playing Kerbal Space Program, making bad puns, and just all around blowing stuff up. It's been a lot of fun. See you guys next episode when I hopefully do something. Bye!